You've been told your entire life that weight loss and health come down to one thing: calories in versus calories out. Eat less, move more, and somehow everything should fall into place. But what if I told you your body already holds the blueprint for health, longevity, and effortless fat burning? And it's not hidden in some diet book or fitness app. It's built into you. It's a natural, biological process that every cell in your body knows how to do, if only you'd let it. Your body is not a machine that simply burns through food. It's a living, intelligent system that constantly repairs, recycles, and regenerates. When you give it the right conditions, it activates something extraordinary, a process called autophagy. The word literally means self-eating. But don't be alarmed. This isn't destruction, it's deep healing. It's your body's way of cleaning house, removing damaged cells, misfolded proteins, and metabolic waste, while building stronger, healthier cells in their place. Here's the catch: autophagy doesn't happen when you're constantly eating. It awakens when you stop. When you fast, you create space for your body to repair instead of digest, space for healing instead of storing. In that quiet internal space, your body switches from burning sugar to burning fat. It stops chasing energy from the outside world and begins drawing from within, your own stored fuel. This is the elegance of fasting. You're not depriving your body, you're restoring its intelligence. You're reminding it that it already knows how to heal, how to balance hormones, how to clear out toxins, and how to protect you from disease. You don't need another superfood or supplement. You need to trust the ancient wisdom within you, the same system that kept humans alive long before diets and calorie counters ever existed. Imagine for a moment that your body is like a city, billions of bustling cells working day and night, each one producing energy, carrying out repairs, and communicating with its neighbors. Over time, just like any busy city, waste begins to pile up. Old equipment breaks down, damaged parts accumulate, and if no one cleans up, the city starts to slow, clog, and deteriorate. This is exactly what happens inside your body when cellular waste isn't cleared away. The process that handles this cleanup, that keeps the city running smoothly, is called autophagy. Autophagy literally means self-eating, but in reality, it's self-renewal. It's your body's built-in housekeeping system. Every cell has the remarkable ability to identify old, worn-out components, damaged proteins, malfunctioning mitochondria, or toxins that have overstayed their welcome, and break them down into smaller, reusable parts. These recycled materials are then used to build new, healthier cellular structures. It's the ultimate act of efficiency: nothing wasted, everything renewed. You can think of autophagy as a deep spring cleaning for your body's cells. Throughout the year, dust gathers in the corners of your house, old things pile up in storage, and clutter quietly takes over space you didn't even realize was there. You don't notice it day to day, but you feel the difference once it's cleared. The air feels lighter, everything works better, and the space feels alive again. That's what autophagy does for your body. It clears out the cellular junk, allowing fresh energy and vitality to flow. When autophagy is active, your cells become more resilient and efficient. They produce energy more cleanly and waste less. This improved cellular performance translates into better metabolic health. Your body becomes more sensitive to insulin, meaning you burn fuel more effectively instead of storing it as fat. Inflammation drops because the old, damaged components that trigger immune reactions are being cleared out. Even your brain benefits. Autophagy helps remove toxic proteins linked to neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. When autophagy slows down, however, the opposite happens. Damaged cells linger, generating oxidative stress and inflammation. Imagine a city where garbage collection has stopped, piles of waste on every street corner, clogged roads, broken machinery still running on fumes. That's what happens inside your tissues when autophagy isn't working properly. The buildup of cellular debris doesn't just make you feel sluggish, it sets the stage for chronic diseases, diabetes, obesity, heart disease, even cancer. But here's the beauty of it. Autophagy isn't something foreign or external you have to buy in a bottle. It's already within you. The body has always known how to clean and repair itself. We've just forgotten to give it the chance. Modern lifestyles, constant eating, stress, processed foods, and lack of rest keep autophagy switched off. Every time you eat, especially foods high in sugar or refined carbohydrates, your body shifts into a state of storage and growth. Autophagy, on the other hand, thrives in the opposite state. When nutrients are scarce, when the body senses a break from digestion, that's when it gets to work. Fasting, exercise, and even good sleep all activate autophagy naturally. When you fast, insulin levels drop, signaling your cells to start recycling. It's your body's way of saying, we have enough. Now let's clean up and rebuild. During this time, the body begins using stored fat for energy, and the byproducts of that fat burning further stimulate cellular repair. It's an elegant feedback loop. Your body heals as it fuels itself. Scientists have begun linking active autophagy to longevity and disease resistance. In animals, enhanced autophagy extends lifespan, protects against cancer, and keeps organs functioning youthfully. In humans, we see parallels. People who regularly fast or engage in practices that stimulate autophagy show better metabolic markers, sharper cognition, and slower aging at the cellular level. It's humbling when you realize how much your body already knows. Autophagy is proof that health isn't something you chase, it's something you uncover. Beneath the noise of diets, supplements, and quick fixes lies this quiet, powerful rhythm of self-renewal. When you stop overfeeding and overstimulating, your body finally has the opportunity to do what it was designed to do all along: clean, repair, and thrive. Autophagy is not just about fat loss or detox. It's about allowing life to flow through every cell again. It's about giving your body permission to let go of what no longer serves it. Broken parts, toxic waste, old energy, and rebuild from the inside out. In that stillness, in that fasting window, your body doesn't just survive, it evolves. When you eat, your body is in what scientists call the fed state. Insulin levels rise to help shuttle glucose into your cells for energy. Your body is focused on growth, storage, and replenishment. This is an essential process. After all, you need nutrients to survive, but if you stay in this state constantly, your body never gets the opportunity to rest, repair, or clean up. It's like keeping the lights on in a factory 24 hours a day. The machines keep running, but maintenance never happens. Over time, small malfunctions build up into bigger problems. When you stop eating, however, something remarkable begins to happen. Within a few hours of fasting, insulin starts to fall, glucose levels stabilize, and your body senses that nutrient availability is low. That single signal, less insulin, less glucose, flips a master metabolic switch. The body transitions from storage mode to repair mode. Instead of burning sugar from your last meal, it starts drawing on stored energy, mainly fat. Inside your cells, this shift awakens the process of autophagy, your body's natural cellular cleansing program. Think of it like this. Fasting flips the switch from growth and storage to cleaning and repair. In one mode, your body is focused on taking in and storing. In the other, it's focused on clearing out and renewing. You can't do both at the same time. Just as you wouldn't try to renovate a house while guests are still living in it. Your body can't begin deep repair while it's busy digesting and storing energy. Fasting gives your system the time and quiet it needs to roll up its sleeves and start the cleanup process. The timing of this shift is fascinating. Around 12 hours into a fast, your glycogen stores, the body's short-term energy reserve, begin to run low. By 14 to 18 hours, your body starts turning inward for fuel, breaking down stored fat and activating autophagy. It's as if, at that point, Your internal housekeeping crew gets the green light. They move through your tissues, identifying damaged components, misfolded proteins, and worn-out mitochondria. These are dismantled and recycled into raw materials for new, healthy cellular parts. The process is so efficient that it's been described as cellular renewal from the inside out. From an energy perspective, fasting teaches your cells flexibility. When you're constantly eating, your cells become dependent on the next meal, burning only glucose for energy. But when you fast, you retrain them to switch fuels, to burn fat, produce ketones, and function more efficiently. Ketones themselves act as powerful signaling molecules, further promoting autophagy and reducing inflammation. They tell your cells, it's time to clean up, conserve, and rebuild stronger. There's another beautiful layer to this process. Fasting restores balance to your hormones. When insulin falls, other beneficial hormones rise, like growth hormone, which protects muscle tissue and enhances fat burning, and norepinephrine, which keeps your metabolism active. Together, these hormonal shifts create an environment where healing, repair, and rejuvenation can thrive. It's a harmony your body has always known but rarely experiences in our modern world of constant feeding. The science of this is deeply compelling. Studies show that when autophagy is triggered through fasting, the body begins to clear out dysfunctional proteins and cellular debris that are linked to aging and disease. Researchers have even observed that fasting protects against neurodegeneration by recycling toxic proteins in the brain, improving clarity, focus, and long-term brain health. The same process supports heart function, reduces fatty liver, and strengthens immune response. But what's truly fascinating is how natural this cycle is. Our ancestors didn't have refrigerators, snack aisles, or the luxury of 3 meals a day. They lived in a rhythm of feast and famine, periods of nourishment followed by periods of fasting. Their bodies adapted to this pattern by using fasting as a time to rejuvenate. Modern life, with its constant grazing, has interrupted that ancient rhythm. We've kept the body permanently stuck in growth mode, leading to metabolic overload and burnout. When you fast, you're not depriving your body, you're restoring that lost balance. You're reminding your biology of a truth it's always known, that healing begins in the absence of constant intake. As the hours pass and insulin drops, your body finally hears the message it's time to stop storing and start repairing. Your cells, like a diligent cleanup crew, begin to sweep through the clutter, breaking down what's broken and salvaging what's still good. The more consistently you give your body this window, the more efficient it becomes at the process. In that quiet space of fasting, the body performs its most profound work. It renews itself from the inside out, not through effort, but through design. You don't need to micromanage it, you only need to allow it. Because when you lower insulin and give your cells time to breathe, they remember exactly what to do. Around the 12-hour mark of fasting, your body begins to experience a quiet but profound shift. Up until this point, it's been running on glycogen, the stored form of glucose in your liver and muscles. Glycogen is like the small tank of fuel your body keeps for quick energy bursts. It burns fast and easily, but it's limited. Once it's gone, your body faces a choice to slow down or find a new source of energy. And that's when something remarkable happens. It starts to look inward. Your body begins to tap into its most abundant and reliable energy reserve, stored fat. Think of it as discovering a hidden vault of clean, long-term energy that's been there all along, just waiting for the right signal to open. Fasting sends that signal. When glycogen is depleted and insulin remains low, the body activates enzymes that break down fat stores into fatty acids and ketones. These molecules then become the primary source of energy for your cells. This shift isn't just about survival, it's about transformation. Burning fat for fuel produces a steady, sustainable form of energy that doesn't cause the sharp spikes and crashes you experience when running on sugar. Your brain, heart, and muscles all thrive on this cleaner energy source. Ketones, the byproduct of fat metabolism, are especially powerful. They enhance mental clarity, stabilize mood, and even signal the body to reduce inflammation. It's like switching from a smoky, inefficient engine to one that burns clean, smooth, and strong. At the same time, autophagy begins to intertwine with this process. As your cells shift into fat burning mode, they also start breaking down and recycling damaged cellular parts. Old mitochondria, the energy factories of your cells, are dismantled and replaced with new, more efficient ones. This rejuvenation means your cells not only produce more energy, but do so with less waste and oxidative stress. The result is a cleaner, sharper metabolism at every level. This is where fasting becomes so much more than a tool for weight loss. You're not simply losing fat, you're retraining your metabolism. When your body becomes fat adapted, it gains the flexibility to move seamlessly between fuel sources, burning sugar when available and fat when not. That flexibility is the hallmark of metabolic health. It protects you from energy crashes, cravings, and the hormonal chaos that leads to fat storage in the first place. Visceral fat, the deep, dangerous fat that wraps around your organs, is particularly sensitive to fasting. When insulin is low and your body relies on stored fat for energy, visceral fat is one of the first sources tapped. This isn't just cosmetic, it's life-changing. Visceral fat fuels inflammation, disrupts hormones, and increases your risk for metabolic diseases. By burning it away, fasting doesn't just change how you look, it changes how your body functions. Inflammation cools, blood pressure normalizes, and your organs begin to operate more freely without the suffocating pressure of excess fat around them. You can imagine the process like switching your home's power source. Most people rely on a small, unstable generator that constantly needs refueling glucose. But fasting allows you to connect to a massive, sustainable energy grid, your body's own fat reserves. Suddenly, energy flows steadily without dependence on frequent meals or sugar hits. The power feels cleaner, stronger, and more balanced. You no longer need to eat every few hours just to function. Your body has learned to feed itself. Even the brain feels the difference. While it can't use fatty acids directly, it thrives on ketones. These molecules cross the blood-brain barrier easily, providing a smooth and efficient fuel that enhances focus, memory, and mental sharpness. That's why many people describe an almost meditative clarity during fasting. The brain, freed from the roller coaster of sugar highs and crashes, begins to hum at a higher frequency, clearer, calmer, more alert. All of this is deeply tied to autophagy. As fat burning ramps up, autophagy works in parallel to recycle cellular debris, reduce oxidative damage, and make energy production more efficient. It's like a renovation happening inside every cell. Old parts are cleared out, new components are built, and the energy grid is upgraded. Mitochondria, the tiny engines within your cells, multiply and strengthen. The result is not only better metabolism, but also greater resilience against aging and disease. The longer you fast, the more seamless this system becomes. Your body learns that it doesn't need constant external fuel. It can thrive on internal reserves. It begins to trust its own wisdom again. The cycle of eating, storing, and crashing is replaced by balance, clarity, and calm energy. What once felt like deprivation becomes empowerment. By the time fasting moves fully into fat-burning territory, you're no longer fighting your biology, you're working with it. The cravings fade, the energy stabilizes, and the body, free from constant intake, begins to express its natural intelligence. What started as a pause from food becomes a gateway to renewal. The shift from glycogen to fat is more than a metabolic adjustment. It's a reminder that within you lies an almost limitless source of clean, sustainable energy waiting to be unlocked. Most people are taught that the only path to health or fat loss is to eat less and move more. Count every calorie, avoid every indulgence, and push harder in the gym. At first, it sounds reasonable, simple math: eat less, burn more. But the body isn't a calculator. It's a symphony of hormones, signals, and adaptive systems that don't respond to simple arithmetic. When you constantly restrict calories or overexercise, you're working against your biology, not with it. You can lose weight that way, yes, but it often comes with fatigue, cravings, muscle loss, and eventually rebound weight gain. It's like paddling upstream. You might move forward for a while, but the current is always pushing against you. Fasting, on the other hand, works with the current. It flows with your body's natural rhythms instead of fighting them. You're not forcing your body into submission, you're inviting it into balance. When you fast, hormones that control hunger, energy, and fat storage begin to reset naturally. Insulin drops, allowing stored fat to become accessible for fuel. Ghrelin, the hunger hormone, starts to calm down once your body learns that energy is always available internally. Leptin, which signals fullness, begins to work properly again after being dulled by years of overeating and sugar consumption. This hormonal recalibration is what makes fasting sustainable. It doesn't rely on willpower, it restores biological harmony. In the early days of fasting, you might feel hunger pangs or fatigue because your body is still used to being fed constantly. But within a week or two, something shifts. The cravings that once ruled your schedule begin to fade. Your energy, instead of crashing between meals, becomes steady and reliable. That's because your metabolism is no longer dependent on the sugar roller coaster. It has learned to draw fuel from fat, a much larger and cleaner energy source. Once this adaptation occurs, fasting no longer feels like deprivation. It feels like freedom. Contrast this with calorie restriction. When you simply cut calories but continue eating throughout the day, your body doesn't perceive abundance. It senses scarcity. Stress hormones like cortisol rise, metabolism slows to conserve energy, and hunger increases as your body fights to protect its resources. You might lose weight initially, but the process becomes harder over time, and the moment you eat normally again, the body rushes to store fat in preparation for the next famine. This is why so many diets fail. They treat the body like an enemy instead of an ally. Fasting changes that dynamic completely. It teaches your body that energy isn't scarce, it's abundant, stored right within you. By lowering insulin and giving your cells time to reset, fasting restores metabolic flexibility. Your body begins to burn what it already has rather than constantly asking for more. And because hormones are balanced, your appetite adjusts accordingly. The constant mental noise about food, the endless cycle of craving, guilt, and counting starts to fade into silence. You eat when it's time, stop when you're satisfied, and feel content in between. Even your energy levels take on a new rhythm. Many people expect fasting to make them tired, but the opposite happens once adaptation sets in. Without the blood sugar fluctuations caused by frequent eating, energy becomes more stable and alertness improves. The body produces ketones from fat, which not only fuel your cells, but also nourish your brain. You begin to feel sharper, lighter, and more focused. The need for constant snacks or caffeine fades, replaced by a natural clarity that feels both calm and powerful. This shift reveals a truth that modern diet culture has forgotten. Your body isn't broken, it's simply overstimulated. Fasting gives it space to remember how to regulate itself. You're not forcing discipline upon your biology, you're allowing your biology to express its discipline. When hormones are in sync, willpower becomes almost irrelevant. You're not paddling upstream anymore, you're floating with the current, guided by a force that knows exactly where to go. Even exercise takes on a new meaning in this state. Instead of punishing your body to burn calories, movement becomes a celebration of energy. Because your body is burning fat efficiently, you can train longer and recover faster. Muscles rebuild more effectively when growth hormone rises during fasting, while inflammation decreases, preventing burnout and injury. You move because it feels good, not because you're trying to earn your food. The irony is that fasting often leads to greater consistency than any diet. You eat fewer meals, but each one feels satisfying and intentional. Your body stops chasing its next sugar hit and settles into balance. The constant battle of, should I eat this or not, fades away. You begin to trust your hunger again because now it speaks the truth, not addiction. In that space, health stops feeling like a struggle. You're no longer fighting cravings, battling fatigue, or fearing weight regain. You've stepped out of resistance and into alignment. Fasting doesn't demand constant restraint. It offers rhythm, restoration, and flow. What once felt like effort becomes effortless. Like letting go of the oars in a rushing river, you discover that the current, your own biology, was always capable of carrying you exactly where you needed to go. When most people think of fasting, they think of it as a way to lose weight. But fat loss is only the surface of what's happening. Beneath that, fasting reaches into the deepest layers of your biology, reshaping how your cells communicate, how your metabolism functions, and how your body ages. It's not just about getting leaner. It's about becoming metabolically younger. The modern diet keeps our bodies trapped in a constant cycle of eating and storing. Frequent meals and constant snacking push insulin levels higher and higher, forcing the body to store energy as fat instead of burning it. Over time, cells become resistant to insulin's signal. Like a doorbell that's been rung too many times, it stops responding. The result is insulin resistance, the root cause of metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes, fatty liver, and even accelerated aging. Fasting breaks this cycle in the most natural way possible. By giving your body a break from food, insulin levels drop, and your cells finally have a chance to reset their sensitivity. It's as if you've restarted a stalled engine. Glucose begins to move efficiently again, fat stores become accessible, and inflammation quiets down. This restoration of metabolic balance doesn't just make it easier to lose weight. It changes how every system in your body performs. One of the most powerful effects of fasting is its ability to lower chronic inflammation. Inflammation is a normal, short-term response to injury, but when it becomes constant, fueled by poor diet, stress, and excess body fat, it turns destructive. It damages tissues, clogs arteries, and accelerates aging. Fasting calms this storm. As insulin and blood sugar stabilize, inflammatory signals like CRP and cytokines begin to fall. Autophagy plays a role here too. It clears out damaged cellular debris that fuels inflammation, giving your immune system the space to restore order instead of constantly putting out fires. This cellular renewal ripples across every major organ system. The heart benefits as blood pressure normalizes and triglycerides drop. LDL cholesterol particles become less sticky and less likely to cause plaque buildup. Blood vessels become more flexible and oxidative stress diminishes. Studies have shown that intermittent fasting and time-restricted eating can improve nearly every marker of cardiovascular health, from resting heart rate to arterial stiffness. The body becomes more efficient at circulating clean, oxygen-rich blood, fuel for longevity. The brain, too, thrives in this fasting state. Ketones produced during fat metabolism serve as an alternative energy source that the brain loves. They burn cleanly and generate fewer free radicals than glucose, protecting neurons from oxidative damage. Fasting also boosts levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, a protein that encourages the growth of new neurons and strengthens existing connections. It's like fertilizer for your brain cells. This is why fasting often brings with it a sense of clarity, focus, and mental calm. The mind becomes sharper not by adding more stimulation, but by removing metabolic noise. At the cellular level, autophagy acts as the body's internal maintenance system. When it's active, cells identify damaged proteins and malfunctioning mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside each cell, and recycle them. This renewal process keeps your cells young, efficient, and resilient. You can think of autophagy as renewing your cellular warranty, preventing breakdowns before they happen. By clearing out what's old and replacing it with what's new, your body prevents the gradual deterioration that leads to chronic disease and aging. Research has confirmed what ancient traditions long intuited: periodic fasting extends lifespan and protects against disease. In animal studies, activating autophagy through fasting has been shown to delay the onset of neurodegenerative disorders, lower cancer risk, and enhance overall vitality. In humans, fasting correlates with improved insulin sensitivity, reduced visceral fat, lower inflammation, and better cognitive performance, all markers of slowed biological aging. It's as if fasting doesn't just add years to your life, it adds life to your years. This renewal process also strengthens the immune system. During fasting, old, inefficient immune cells are broken down and replaced with new ones once eating resumes. This cyclical regeneration has been shown to improve immune resilience and even enhance the body's response to infections. It's a reminder that fasting is not starvation, it's strategic restoration. The effects of fasting on longevity aren't mystical, they're biological. Every system in your body, from the brain to the liver, from the heart to the mitochondria, functions better when given the space to rest and repair, instead of being trapped in constant growth and consumption. The body cycles through creation and cleanup just as nature intended. This is what separates fasting from dieting. Dieting tries to control from the outside, counting, measuring, restricting, while fasting works from within, awakening an ancient mechanism designed for balance and survival. You're not forcing your body into change, you're allowing it to return to its natural rhythm. The longer you practice it, the more you notice that fasting isn't about taking something away. It's about clearing the path for your body's intelligence to do what it's always known. It restores not just metabolic health, but metabolic wisdom. It teaches your body to conserve, repair, and renew itself cell by cell, day by day. And in that renewal, longevity is no longer something to chase, it becomes something you naturally embody. When people first hear about fasting, they often imagine it as a test of endurance, something extreme reserved for the highly disciplined. But fasting isn't about punishment, it's about rhythm. It's about rediscovering the natural balance between nourishment and rest that your body was always designed for. Like any skill, it's something you grow into, not something you force overnight. The key is to start simple, stay consistent, and listen to your body as it adapts. The most sustainable way to begin is gradually. You don't have to jump into long fasts right away. Start with a 12-hour fasting window, say finishing dinner at 7 p.m. and having breakfast at 7 a.m. This gentle reset gives your body its first taste of rest between meals. As you become comfortable, you can extend that window to 14 or 16 hours, allowing more time for your body to shift into fat burning and cellular repair. This slow progression ensures your hormones and metabolism adjust smoothly without triggering stress or fatigue. During your fasting hours, hydration is your greatest ally. Water, herbal teas, and even black coffee can help suppress hunger and support detoxification. Many people mistake thirst for hunger, so staying hydrated helps you distinguish between the two. Electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and magnesium are also important, especially in the early stages. A pinch of sea salt in your water or a mineral-rich broth can prevent dizziness and fatigue as your body learns to function in a lower insulin state. When you do eat, focus on quality over quantity. Fasting amplifies the effects of what you consume for better or worse. Breaking your fast with processed foods, refined carbs, seed oils, or sugary snacks can create the very inflammation and insulin spikes you were trying to avoid. Instead, choose nutrient-dense, whole foods, clean proteins, healthy fats, colorful vegetables, and fiber-rich foods that stabilize your blood sugar. Think of food as information. Every bite tells your body how to perform. Feed it well, and it will reward you with energy, clarity, and calm. A good guideline is to treat your eating window as a time of nourishment, not indulgence. The goal isn't to eat as much as possible in a short time, but to eat mindfully in alignment with your body's true needs. Include foods rich in minerals and antioxidants like leafy greens, avocados, nuts, eggs, olive oil, and wild-caught fish. These nutrients replenish what fasting clears out, helping your cells rebuild with stronger, cleaner materials. It's also important to remember that fasting is a stressor, but like exercise, it's beneficial only when balanced with recovery. Sleep, relaxation, and deep breathing all play a crucial role in helping your body adapt. Fasting during periods of high stress or sleep deprivation can backfire, increasing cortisol and undermining your progress. So build your fasting schedule around your life, not the other way around. Some days you might fast longer, other days you might shorten your window. Flexibility is what makes fasting sustainable. You don't need perfection, you need consistency. It's not the occasional long fast that transforms your health. It's the daily rhythm of giving your body time to rest and renew. Even a few hours of fasting each day compound over time, improving insulin sensitivity, reducing inflammation, and enhancing energy. Think of it like tidying your home a little each day. You don't need to rebuild the entire house in one go. Just keep it clean regularly, and it will remain strong, beautiful, and livable for years to come. As fasting becomes a natural part of your lifestyle, you'll notice subtle shifts. Your hunger stabilizes, your mind clears, and your energy feels grounded. Meals become more intentional and satisfying. You no longer eat out of boredom or emotion. You eat because your body truly needs nourishment. That awareness itself is healing. It's a reconnection with your biology's original design, one that's been buried under years of constant stimulation and overconsumption. Fasting also teaches patience and mindfulness. It helps you build a relationship with your body based on trust rather than control. You begin to see hunger not as an emergency, but as communication, a gentle reminder that your body is adjusting, cleaning, healing. Over time, this process becomes effortless. Fasting stops feeling like an act of discipline and starts feeling like an act of respect. When practiced safely and sustainably, fasting doesn't take away from your life, it enhances it. You gain time, clarity, and control. You move through your days with steadier energy, clearer focus, and a sense of internal lightness. It's not about restriction, it's about rhythm. The body thrives on balance, and fasting simply helps restore it. By keeping your internal house clean each day, hydrated, nourished, and well rested, you allow your biology to do what it was made to do: repair, renew, and sustain you for a lifetime.